Where do strategies come from?
Yes.
Well, we have first of all, this is part of the president and CEO's responsibilities. So it falls under my responsibility, but I have a team. I have a team of VPs who are working with me, and we are, as we are a publicly listed company, we propose our plans on an annual basis, but also over 3 or 5 years to the board of directors. They're not there to make the plan, we make the plan, and they're there to challenge the plan and approve the plan, and then support the plan once it's approved.
Okay.
Strategy is something that evolves more than something that comes from on high, and it evolves in response to technology as much as anything else. You know, we're really struggling. I don't say struggling in a negative way. We're constantly adapting to technological change, as everybody is. So I would say it evolves from the problems that are there, and the opportunities that are there. And the problems and opportunities are, you know, the biggest problem obviously is advertising is not easy in the way that it used to be. And the biggest opportunities is that you've just got lots and lots of different platforms. So what you produce can be communicated to people in lots and lots of different ways through lots and lots of different mediums. So it means, you know, as a journalist, life used to be so much better than it is today. You know, you do your column or you do your thing. We were a weekly paper. So, you know, you'd write it, it would be published, and that was it. Now you have to respond to daily news, and you have to get your arguments out in a number of different forms. I write my column, but there's also interviews, there's also tweets, there's also blogs, there's also TV and radio. And, you know, you have to, you know, we have Economist television, we have Economist radio, or films, I should say, we have Economist radio, we have, you know, social media people. All of that means all of those channels need to be fed.
So we talked a bit about deliberate and emergent strategy, Jordan. So deliberate is kind of the Porter approach, do your analysis, think it all out. Mintzberg is kind of like you're just learning as you go along. Where would you fit on that continuum?
Well, for BNLA, definitely just intuitive, just doing it and learning as you go. But Square Feet is really more formal because we have a lot of time. A tech business like Square Feet is something that takes months and years to develop. And if you have no structure, then it's not going to work. So we have systems in place, we have procedures, we know where we sit in, like, you know, so it's a different game.
Okay.
Here's an example I want to show you, which is called like design thinking. So where you're trying to, again, it used to be companies thought inside out. I develop a product, then I'm going to see who buys it. Now we're trying to switch to outside in thinking. Who are our customers? Who are our potential market? Understand their needs, and then map out where we can serve them and address those needs. But essentially, that's what Uber and Amazon does. They really spend a lot of time understanding you. So this is like sort of the life cycle of people starting a business to closing a business. And this is different competitors on where they're supporting the customers in different ways. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of competition we're facing in the financial services industry. And a lot of these are digital players. This is just the Canadian players. In the US, you just saw, I showed you that map. There are hundreds and hundreds of people at each one of these stages coming in with their own business proposition, fueled by billions and billions of dollars of money by different VC funds. And so it forced us to change a lot of things. It's forcing us to change our organizational structure, because by adopting a digital mindset or trying to change your business just a little bit, it has a profound change. And one common example is Adobe. When they switched from annual, you bought the box once a year or twice a year for the software update, to a monthly SaaS model where you just get an update, you just pay a subscription, that changed everything. change their product development cycle from like an annual basis to a monthly basis. Sales cycle, because it's new channels. I'm dealing directly with people rather than through like these distributors. Marketing, everything gets changed the moment you just even change a small thing. You have to develop strengthened technological capabilities. People are no longer tolerant of bad apps. Like they're just gonna quit, and they're never gonna come back. You have to have the analytics capabilities, and you have to think beyond us and our clients and think of partnerships. And I'll get into what do I mean by that.
The company had ideas, but they were never on the forefront because the company was focused on its number one, number two revenue generators. When those disappeared overnight, it was good that the ideas were there. It's not like we had to start from scratch. These were projects in development that were quickly spearheaded and rushed to meet the challenges of a pandemic world.
Here's what I've observed. You know, hiring thousands of people and seeing people from 21 years old up to very, very senior, you know, Fortune 500 executives at the IBMs and the Googles and the Facebooks and so forth, is that almost nobody has a career strategy. What everybody has is career anxiety. And if you're feeling it, some of you are very close, you know, right imminent to graduation. Some of you are at different stages. Everybody feels anxiety. How am I going to find a job? Am I in the right place? How do I get promoted around here? 50 years. So career anxiety is with us throughout our lives. It's actually normal. It's natural. It's healthy. But what you really need to do is to turn your career anxiety, which you are feeling today, and everybody feels throughout their age cohorts, turn it into action. I describe in the book, The Long View, there's 3 big stages, a big chunk, almost 15 years starting. 15 years is the beginning. And the whole idea is to start strong by using lots of discovery. And it's an act of long-term discovery and building of fuel. And I'll describe what career fuel is and how you can accumulate it and the kinds that are most significant. So whole first stage, 12 years, 15 years, is all about starting strong, discovery, building fuel. Stage number 2, the strategy changes. It's about differentiation, reaching high. How high can you go in your career? Finding your sweet spot, the thing that this is where you really do know what you like, what is good for you, the sweet spot, and how do you stand out? Because in that, now you're becoming age 40 and so forth, you will be looking for those bigger jobs. And when people search for people to fill those big jobs, you want to stand out. You want to be the person that has just the right combination. This notion of career fuel, if you take away one big thing, it's fuel. Fuel, one I call transportable skills, things you carry with you. Number 2 is meaningful experiences, different kinds of things so that you can become resilient. And number 3 is enduring relationships, the quality of relationships that really carry you forward. So that's it. Do some career math. It's a long trip. Take inventory of your fuel, where it is today, and especially for the next chunk of time. And honestly, throughout your career, keep building those 3 kinds of fuel. Periodically ask yourself those 4 golden career health questions. Am I learning, having impact, having fun, and fairly rewarded? Every once in a while, look at your personal time portfolio. Are you investing enough in things? And even I encourage people, work really hard, but how are you using those other things as nutrition, as vitamin supplements to boost your energy so that the work part really comes through? Max out your human skills so that you don't, just when it gets really interesting later on, get your job career path overtaken by a machine. Max out the human things. And most importantly, take personal accountability for you. You're the one and only person on the planet who will be with you throughout your entire journey.